Good news, everyone. Pfizer booster shots are now available on the open market. We can buy them when we want, how we want. And the Avengers are endorsing them. I know which Avenger will enjoy them most. Tony Stark, especially with his heart condition.
Thank you for choosing Fox News.
No, here's the Fox News.
Hello there, you 6 million awakening wonders. Thanks for joining me on this voyage towards truth, a truth that is inborn and within us, and we will ultimately find when we let go of our egos. Complicated stuff. If you don't subscribe yet, subscribe right now and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a single video if the algorithm turns against us. Remember, we stream every single day on Rumble at these times where we are completely uncensored and we can say things that we can't say on this channel and speak to people that would frankly be banned here. Now, Pfizer have enlisted the help of the Avengers to ensure you get more booster shots. Less than 4% of eligible people have got updated COVID booster shots, and only 2% of parents of children under 5 took the vaccine. But if you think that has any connection to Pfizer partnering with Marvel, you're a conspiracy theorist and, quite frankly, worse than Thanos. So them teaming up with the Avengers and little cartoon people and getting Elmo off Sesame Street, oh, you think that's for marketing?
There was a little pinch.
Those Avengers were a treat for your birthday party. That would be a good treat for your birthday party, ironically. Okay, let's see if we can understand this thing. Just like how the Avengers have repeatedly kept the world safe from Ultron, people need to protect themselves by updating their COVID-19 vaccination with the latest booster. That's the message Pfizer and BioNTech are trying to get across in a new custom comic book partnered with Marvel. Why is this happening? What's the point of it? Either you need that booster shot or you don't. Why do we have to drag Captain America into this nightmare? Isn't Incredible Hulk fragile enough as it is without this problem? Aren't we concerned about Tony Stark's heart condition? Shouldn't we be being a bit more careful with these Avengers? What are we trying to avenge? Stock prices falling? We are proud to work with Marvel, which is so firmly entrenched in global culture. Oh God, that makes me feel sick, that sentence. And entertainment to help remind people of the actions they can each take to protect themselves. Similarly, how the Avengers protect their community. Note the difference. You protect yourself with a vaccine. What, did you think that you were protecting someone else? Did you get that idea from somewhere? The Avengers, though, they protect their community, like they protect their nan. Hey, if you really love your nan, you'd get an Avenger, wouldn't you? That's all, though. That's all. You'd get an Iron Man to protect and make sure Iron Man's heart's okay. The new comic titled Everyday Heroes represents Pfizer flexing its marketing muscle. COVID vaccines are slated to switch to the private commercial market after the US government failed to secure additional funding from Congress. Because I guess they didn't think it was worth paying any more money. As Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla has said, Pfizer can be even more competitive and its commercial skills are even better suited in an open market than a government contracting model. Oh, well, perhaps you'll give us the money back then. The project also comes amid a reportedly slow start to the Omicron booster rollout in both the US and Europe. Oh. Enter the comic book featuring some of Marvel's most popular and powerful superheroes. The story happens as Ultron, which is used to represent COVID, has come back again, all evolved, just like how coronavirus has developed into new variants. As the superheroes fight Ultron a few blocks away, a grandpa and his family are waiting to get their COVID shots at a clinic. This is actual propaganda. The old man describes to his grandkid how the Avengers relied on new technologies to fight Ultron the first time. As the villain keeps changing and coming back with a new power, the Avengers keep adapting and re-strategizing to beat him. The grandpa says in a clear reference to how COVID vaccines are updated. I mean, for example, the Hulk learned his powers on 5 mice, not 6 mice. He would practice punching those little mice. And if 5 or 6 mice died, Hulk would say, well, that's a pretty good power we've got ourselves there. And that bejeweled glove. Each one of those jewels of Thanos' glove represents a mouse that got a booster shot. In this round of the battle, Iron Man arrives with an ionized energy cannon, and Ultron flees the scene, a news anchor reports. The plot leaves the door open to potential follow-up chapters. I'd be interested to see the edition where Tony Stark, with his heart condition, gets a COVID jab. It's later revealed that the grandpa used to work at a company that helps clean up the messes after superhero fight. Even in the fucking comic book, there's a revolving door of corporate conspiracy. Actually, before this, I used to work at J.P. Morgan. Then I worked for a while as a lobbyist in Washington. Grandpa, I'm starting to go off you. Shut up, kid. It's the way the system works. That's how I know we can fight back against even tough, ever-evolving enemies. If you're willing to adapt, fight back, and take steps to help protect yourself, the grandpa says. A disgusting message. In the next frame, the father adds, that's exactly what we're doing today. with a Pfizer poster hanging on the wall in the background. Oh, Stanley, come on, baby. The story ends with what appears to be a ceremonial scene featuring the Avengers on stage and the family off stage, all wearing bandages on their arms, indicating they've received the vaccine. What makes them everyday heroes, one page reads. They know what to do to help defend against COVID-19. Vaccinate. Stay up to date with the latest recommended booster for you and be an everyday hero, a banner states, accompanied by a scannable QR code containing COVID vaccination information from Pfizer. I suppose in a way it's good to encourage, I don't know what to say. The world, this is your planet, okay. Let's see though how Pfizer's profit model is operating, and let's cast the mind back to the beginning of the pandemic and the pledges made by big pharmaceutical companies about the unique challenges we face. Heroism is about self-sacrifice. Modern day heroes are the values that used to be enshrined in gods, in religions. In a secular culture, these gods, these energies come back in different forms, but always they have to embody values that are important to our culture. Kindness, humility, community. There's nothing wrong with that. That's all fantastic. Do you think that Pfizer are motivated by the desire to help people, or do you think they care primarily about profits? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Let's have a look at some data to help us make up our own sweet little minds. In summer 2020, as COVID vaccines moved ahead at warp speed, the companies behind them promised they wouldn't make too much money on them. Okay, well, I sort of remember hearing that they made billions and had their best ever year, their best ever. We're not going to make too much money. Oh, so you won't be having your best and most profitable year ever. Well, if we do, that would certainly be at odds with what we just said. Let's carry on. Johnson & Johnson and AstraZeneca both promised to sell their vaccine on a non-profit basis. Okay. J&J even committed to charging a single price worldwide rather than charging countries like the United States more. Okay. Pfizer chairman Albert Bourla was also emphatic. His company was developing a COVID vaccine for the good of humanity, not for money, he told Time magazine July 2020. So you would imagine that a statement like that wouldn't be followed by record profits, wouldn't you? Would you imagine that? Let me know in the chat, let me know in the comments. This is not business as usual. Not for old Baller, which is a bit taller. He said, if you were calculating return on investment, we would never do these. Not doing what? For money? Over at Pfizer? Hey, I'm offended. What, you think that those opioids, we're trying to help people with that stuff? I really enjoy this guy's videos. He's brilliant, isn't he? But wouldn't you like even more of him? As you know, we are streaming every day on Rumble at these times. Now, if you are a fan of our podcast, Under the Skin, you've got to become a member of Stay Free AF. That is our community where you get even more fantastic content as a member. We're creating more free content than ever and better paid for content than you could ever imagine. We've already done interviews with Vandana Shiva, Wim Hof, Gabor Mate, Noam Chomsky. Coming up, we're going to be speaking to Donald, Bernie, Elon. I'll give you the surnames once we confirm the interviews. All of these interviews will be available on Stay Free AF, as well as my stand-up special that's going to drop in December, our community film, and opportunities to join me for live events regularly throughout the year. Stay free as fuck. There's a link below to join. We would never do these things. We were discussing that back in March, what that means to human lives, to the economy of the world, so it was a must that we take those measures. Thus, Pfizer would not overcharge for the mRNA vaccine it was developing with the German company BioNTech, Baller said. We are going to charge governments a very, very nominal value, he said, because Pfizer would charge so little it believed governments should give its shots free of charge to all citizens. Asked directly if Pfizer intended to profit. Do you intend to profit? Baller said, we will make a very, very marginal profit at this stage. Now, if you're like me and you love language, you would think the significant words in that statement would be, we will make a marginal profit. Very, very marginal profit. That's what you would imagine is the important information. But the important information is actually at this stage. That is the most important and marginal. It could be a great bit. This is a margin. Whoa! Look at that margin! Oh yeah, I can see poor people over there. That's outrageous at this stage, because down the line they made 108 billion. Do you think Pfizer should be able to keep that money? Do you think that government should be reimbursed? Do you think that given that much of this experimentation was funded by taxpayer money, that the profit should be returned to the taxpayer also? These are just things for you to consider. Let me know in the chat. In February, Pfizer forecast that its revenue this year will grow to a total between $98 billion and $102 billion. That's the highest estimate for the 173-year-old pharmaceutical company ever. What a mad coincidence. Pfizer, totally not motivated by money, doing it for the good of humanity, looking for a marginal profit somehow against all odds, bit like Iron Man or something, ended up having the best profits in their entire history. What a wonderful system. What a crazy world. Makes me think of the values of like Spider-Man and Iron Man and Thor and all those other great heroes that fight for justice and truth. Pfizer, Thor, Spider-Man, Johnson & Johnson, for me it's all just one panoply of heroes, all just out to help humanity. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know in the chat what you think. If you enjoyed this video, have a look at either of these. If you haven't turned on the notification bell yet, turn it on right now, because the algorithm is a bit like Thanos, a real baddie, not like Pfizer, a total hero. So make sure you turn it on. And remember, every single day we stream live on Rumble. You can see us there saying what I actually think without fear of censorship. Stay free.